But no, I have spoken to Becky since. I've been speaking to Becky a lot on WhatsApp. I've been speaking to Dennis. I haven't spoken to Jamie, but we got quite close. The one that disappointed me the most was Amir, because I thought Amir and I got quite close. And we were talking, we were going to go to Pakistan and stuff together and do all of this. And then I kind of saw some stuff afterwards where he was actually lying about me. So I was disappointed by that. But I haven't got any... I've got no beef with any of them. You know, I'll get on with them.
Are you glad you did it?
There's a good question, Anne. Am I glad... Am I glad I did it? Yes. The last week I really enjoyed. The last week was fun, and we had some really fun things like the cyclone. And my sister, who I'd not seen for 2.5 years, suddenly she was in the jungle, and it was the weirdest thing. And they gave us chalk ices. We're so easily bought. Yeah. But the first 2 weeks I found really, really tough. And I did think that I'd made a mistake going in. I did think... And it wasn't the trials. The trials were... they were a joy to do because it gave you something to do. It was that thing, I'm really socially awkward, you know, and I like being on my own and reading books and playing video games.
Also, you've talked about your mental health, and it sounds to me, you know, when you meditate and you've found what works for you to keep you sort of safe and well. And I imagine that must have been terribly difficult to have that all, like, turned upside down and still say... Yeah,
it was horrendous. I have talked about it a lot, and, you know, I had a chat with you see a show psychiatrist before you go in. I saw my psychiatrist before I went in.
Is that a regular thing that you...
Well, I see him maybe a couple of times a year, but I wanted to chat to him about the ramifications of possibly doing it. I'm on medication, you know, which I'm kind of hoping to cut down in the new year. So I was as strong as I felt I could be.
It's so nice, actually, to hear a bloke just being honest, openly...
Well,
it really is. And not feeling that there's any, you know, shame.
Well, I do still feel a little bit embarrassed talking about it.
Yeah,
I do, because
my husband says that. He's talked openly about it with antidepressants.
But I'm glad
there is always this fear that people are then going to judge him for everything he does through that.
Yeah, and I came out and I saw the headlines, tragic comic, you know, and it was strange.
But that's their fault for printing that rubbish, not you. You're the one who's brave for saying this. It's so important.
And you're right, and it is. And you know, in the last... I do a radio show on Talk Radio, and that's kind of why I went in, was to tell people about this radio show. And in the last 6 months, we've had at least 2 people kind of connected with the show. 2 men have killed themselves, who've taken their own lives. And every time, you know, it's a shock, and people, men and women, are dying because of mental health, and
because of the taboo. Exactly. They're dying often because of the taboo that surrounds it. We've got to be able to talk about it more. And the people, ladies and gentlemen of the press out there, have got to stop using words like that. That's 90%.
I agree. I agree.
And you did get to the point where you've rung the Samaritans yourself.
Oh, I've called the Samaritans, The Samaritans are brilliant. It's free, 116 123, and it's free, and, you know, they're just kind of like a relief.
And what is your low point? What is the warning signs for you?
Oh, God, if I can't get out of bed, if I just continually crying, you know, it's kind of it's a physical thing. I feel like I'm weighed down. And when I start to get that, I know that I'm in trouble and I need to kind of reach out.
And is that very often, or...?
It's, is it very often? I can't answer that question. No, it's not been for a while, but it certainly happened this year. And there have been times when I felt suicidal. And there is a difference between feeling suicidal and then actually going on to do it.
There's
but there is that hopelessness of thinking, God, everyone in my life would be so much better if I wasn't here.
And my husband says that being on antidepressants doesn't stop it. It just removes you a bit, so you're sort of looking at it.
Yeah, it does. There's some very... there's some odd side effects with antidepressants as well, which I won't go into on a family show.
All credit to you again for...
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on here.
Thank you.
Big champions of you.
Thank you very much.